Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. I'm filming this on the first day of 2019 and this is going to be my Q&A video and also letting you guys know a little bit about what I have planned for the new year in regards to this channel. A few weeks ago or a week or two ago I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram, and here I'm also going to be kind of briefly summarizing some of the most popular questions I get asked just in general on my channel, and at the end of this video I'm just going to kind of have a heart-to-heart with you guys and let you guys know what's up. So if these are the types of videos that you like, it will be long, then keep watching. I'm wary to do these videos because sometimes I get long-winded or a little bit too personal, but it's the new year and I wanted to start off doing it like this. If you haven't noticed, I haven't been here for the past few days. I will get into that at the end of the video, let you guys know what's going on personally and how it will affect my channel. But let's start off with the Q&A. I'm going to start off with questions from Instagram first. So the first one is from Velvet and Satin, and they ask, I'm curious, based on your experiences, what are the top 3 fragrances for men in winter, spring, and summer? These are my questions for a Q&A session. Well, thank you so much for asking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 fragrances that I think are incredibly versatile and that you can wear in those 3 seasons rather than going into 9 different ones, because that could be a really long video. I think that if you're looking for a ridiculously versatile scent and you want something that's going to be really good for the office, but something that's also going to be really unique and special, I think Elysium from Raja is fantastic. It doesn't matter what formula you get it in or what concentration. Generally, overall, that is a really beautiful scent, and overall I think it performs really well in a variety of different environments, being it a little bit cooler, a little bit warmer, a little bit more brisk. So a huge fan of scents that are classic, and Acqua di Parma's fragrances are just, to me, just incredibly beautiful, timeless, and Colonia, the classic Colonia, I think is just one of those scents that is timeless. It smells a little bit vintage, it smells a little bit sophisticated and gentlemanly, but overall that is another scent that you can wear. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can wear it formally, you can wear it casually, you can wear it in spring, summer, fall. You can really do a lot with that scent, so I definitely think Acqua di Parma Colonia is great. Another one that I think works really well is from Francis Kurkdjian, and it's Grand Soir. And that one, even though it really performs the best in the cooler months, it's not heavy enough to be stifling in the summer. I enjoy wearing it in the summer. So that's another scent that I would most definitely recommend for men if you're looking for something to wear in the spring and the summer and the fall. Just a gorgeous year-round scent. So Elysium from Raja Parfums, Acqua di Parma Colonia, and Grand Soir from Francis Kurkdjian are the ones that I recommend. But do understand this is my opinions. It doesn't mean that they'll work the best for you, but they're the ones that I would definitely recommend and rock myself. One Accord asks, was there a specific person in your life that sparked your love for fragrances? I have to say that it wasn't so much that they sparked a love for fragrances, but they were definitely an enabler, and that was my mother. I used to buy, like, there were these 2 gifts that I remember, and I could obviously, this could be hindsight bias and this could not be how it is, but in my mind I remember buying 2 of the same gifts for my mom like every year for birthday and Mother's Day, which is 1 set of earrings and Jessica McClintock fragrance, and I loved the way it smelled on her. We always bought it for her. I think we bought it for her like 2 or 3 times, and it's a scent that reminds me of my mom. So that's when I remember, like, being really little and going to fragrances and smelling fragrances and picking that out for her. But I think it was my dad egging me on because he knew that my mom liked it. And then also my mom would gift me, she gave me green tea from Elizabeth Arden, which is really the fragrance that sparked this whole thing. And generally she would get me fragrances or like smelling things like body lotions and stuff that really just started me really appreciating smelling good. So I wouldn't say that so much that she sparked my love for fragrances, but she enabled and nurtured my love for fragrances most definitely. So that award goes to my mother. Ale Yosef, if I mispronounce any of your names, I'm very sorry. I'm not very good with pronouncing anything, even basic English I'm really horrible at. Says, hey, do you think Chanel Cormandel Eau de Parfum is suitable for women, and is it worth it? I actually really like that fragrance. I like all of them from the Chanel Les Exclusives line. I am more of a fan of the eau de toilettes than the eau de parfums. So me personally, I prefer to seek out the eau de toilettes. But the eau de parfum I think is ridiculously beautiful, and all of the scents from that line I find to be unisex. Again, my take on fragrances is that it's genderless. You can wear whatever you want, but I think that particular scent leans a little bit more on the feminine side, but still is really beautiful on anybody. It doesn't matter what gender you are, so I definitely agree that women could wear that no problem. And when it comes down to the eau de parfum, a lot of people agree that the eau de toilettes are better, but that does not mean that everyone thinks that they are. So I think that for me personally, the eau de toilettes, I just like the clarity that they have, and they kind of get to the point faster. Sycamore is a great example. The Sycamore eau de parfum, it takes a lot longer to get to that beautiful vetiver magic than it does in the eau de toilette. The eau de toilette, it comes like immediately, and the eau de parfum, it takes a few hours for it to develop into that. So it just depends, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with the eau de parfum, and if I could never get my hands on the eau de toilette, I would definitely buy the eau de parfum. So I think it's worth it, but definitely sample it first, but I also think it'd be really beautiful on women as well. The next question, you have to excuse, I know you guys hate it when you see the side of my head. Jessica Hallis. On a personal note, is there a hobby or something of yours that would really surprise most people? Opera singing, skydiving, drag racing. Alright, so a few things if you guys don't know about me. I'm an artist, so I'm a painter, so I work from home. I do graphic design and painting. I also own a jewelry business where I do custom jewelry for people, specifically like pearl jewelry. Well, I'll source the gems for them and we'll work together to create a piece. It used to be more openly like here's my shop face, but now it's just become more personal because it takes a lot of time and effort to do what I do, and so I prefer to do it on a one-on-one basis and create something really special. When it comes down to personal hobbies, I am a gamer. I think some of you, if some of you see the headsets I wear in some pictures, have picked it up, but I play a lot of video games, and I mean a lot of video games. I play a variety. The ones I'm playing, I used to play World of Warcraft a lot back in the day. I stopped for a very long time, and within the last year, I've started playing again, so I play that a lot. I play Overwatch, I play a variety of different games on consoles and on my phone. I am like addicted to video games, so that's one of the things. I also have this weird quirk, and my husband he didn't know about it until we started like really like dating, because before when we were friends he wouldn't see me that often, but since we spend like every waking moment together, I really have this curiosity about real estate prices in different areas. So I will spend so much time like researching how much it costs to live in this city, how much it costs to live in this city, how much it costs to buy a home here, and this and this and this. I don't know why I care so much, but like if we drive past like a development project, he knows like if we're going to dinner and there's like a development project and there's a website and it says go here to look at floor plans, he knows as soon as we sit down I'm already on my phone looking at these floor plans and like spending time like figuring out how much it would cost to live in the same amount of money in like Colorado or California or New York. And he's like, I don't understand this weird obsession you have with like real estate pricings. And I'm like, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea, but it is definitely something that is bizarre and weird, and it's just, I don't know how it developed. So that is something weird that most people don't know about me. It's off the wall. I'm also, a few things people don't know is I went to culinary school, so I am not a chef, but I used to work in kitchens and be a cook, and I was going to get my PhD in food science, and I was also looking to get a master's as a sommelier, but it was just way too much money, so I do that kind of more. I will cook charity banquets and things like that. I do kind of that work freelance on the side. I collect art, I collect cats. But yeah, those are the two things that most people might not know about me, is that I'm a gamer and I'm also ridiculously, weirdly, creepily interested in real estate prices. I know it's weird, I'm sorry. The question is one that I'm going to be developing. I think I already did a video talking about this, but I kind of want to do a really in-depth video on this. So Karine says, hi, love to watch your YouTube videos. Thank you so much. Could you please talk about your experience with perfume conservation? I'm on a bit of a perfume shopping spree these days, but I'm worried that if I have too much, they'll go bad before I can use them all. I see you have a lot, so I'd like to hear your opinion about that. Aren't you worried some will be wasted over time? Thanks a lot. This is a great question. I kind of touched on this a little bit when I was talking about the defending large fragrance collections, and this is something that a lot of people question larger collections. What if it goes bad? Where do you use it? How much is too much? And things like that. I'm not going to go regurgitate that video. I will link it below if you guys want to hear it. But when it comes down to perfume conservation, perfume can be worn. It doesn't have an expiration date. It kind of, to me, has a best by date. So just because you have a fragrance for a few years doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be time to throw it away. I've only ever gotten rid of 1 or 2 fragrances, and one of them developed these weird chunks in it. It's kind of gross, but I love that scent, and I held on to that scent longer than I should have. And the other one was so old, and I had not kept it properly that it kind of turned. Now, you'll see a lot of people love to purchase vintage fragrances. They really look for those old fragrances with those beautiful vintage juices and those formulations you can't get anymore, and they just really gravitate to them. For me, when it comes down to perfume conservation, it's really important to make sure that it's in a stable environment, which means not much direct light, no light if possible, making sure it's at a cool, even temperature. Even is so important. And just making sure that you're just taking care of it. Now, whenever I see people showing their fragrance collections in a bathroom or on a vanity by a window, I always think it looks beautiful, but I'm always like, oh, my poor heart can't take it. My anxiety can't take it. Those poor fragrances are not going to last that not long. Now, some people do it anyway, and that's totally fine. And if you have 2 to 3 bottles of perfume, but honestly, by the time you use the scent, it won't go away. But if you have a larger collection, like 50 bottles or more, you're gonna want to keep it a little bit less fun. So you'll see a lot of people, a lot of YouTube reviewers, they'll have these displays with their bottles out and they're really beautiful, but their major collection, most of the time it's put away in the cabinets underneath. One of the reasons you guys don't see my fragrance collection out here is because it's in the room that I film in. When you see like the stairs and the cats, it's off to the side. That room is the most consistently air conditioned and the darkest most of the time. So even the ones that aren't in an airtight or a light-free cabinet, it's most of the time really dark and cool in there, so it keeps it safe. Now, some people say that you should keep your fragrances in a refrigerator. Some people say you should keep your fragrances in a wine chiller. I will go into that more when I do that video. I'm going to tell you guys the pros and cons for keeping it in different areas. But for conservation, if you want to make sure your fragrances last longer, a cool, dark place, a consistently cool, dark place is the best. And also understands as fragrances get older, you're really only going to see a noticeable difference in the top notes. The rest of the fragrance or the body of the fragrance will probably stay pretty similar. I think 75% similar. I'm just throwing numbers out here. So even as the fragrance gets older and older and older, you can still wear it and you can still enjoy it, but the top notes will start to fade. Anyway, I hope I answered that question well, and again, I'm going to be going more in depth with that in the upcoming video that I have planned very soon. Alright, now we're going on to the YouTube questions. The first one I'm going to answer is E-Dreams in Color, and this is a very telling question. I'm curious about how much money you make from YouTube. Are there any fragrance channels you love, dislike? When is your husband making a cameo appearance? Will you consider an Osme or Neiman's vlog? What are your tattoos pictures of? How many tats do you have? Alright, this is a very involved question. Firstly, I'm never going to hide how much I make from YouTube. I make not that much money. YouTube has this thing where if you make $100 in AdSense money, then they give you money a month, but if you make a little less, they hold on to it. I make between $150 and $250 a month, depending on how much AdSense I make. It's not a lot of money. It helps pay like bills, like it'll pay like my phone bill or electric or something like that. But when it comes down to making money on YouTube, I really do not make that much. I spend a lot more on my channel than I make. Now, if you're ever curious about your favorite YouTuber and you want to know, you can always go to socialblade.com, and that will give you a good general idea of how much they make a month. I find it to be a little bit more on the higher end that I make than on the lower end. So if it's months where I'm supposed to be making between $110 and $150, I'll probably make like $130. But that's generally how much I make, and again, not that much. We do not make a lot of money doing this. Again, most of us, except for the higher people, spend more on our channels than we make. So usually this just kind of goes back into our channel. So I don't mind answering that question. I don't ever want to, like, it's not a secret and you can look online. It's not that much. We do not make that much money. Are there any fragrance channels you love or dislike? Now, I have this thing. I don't dislike any channels. There are channels that I don't particularly feel engaged in because I am not their target demographic. I'm going to use him as an example because it's really easy. Jeremy Fragrance. I think he has a fantastic production quality. I think he has more experience than he lets on, and I enjoy watching his videos from time to time. He can be entertaining, but I feel a disconnection because I know that I am not his target demographic. So when it comes down to channels or reviewers that I particularly might not be engaged by, it has nothing to do with their content. It has just to do with I'm not their target audience, and so I'm kind of missing some of the things, or I'm not interested in the lists or the recommendations they make or their reviews or things that I'm not excited for just because I'm not their target demographic. So when it comes down to reviewers, I don't dislike anybody. I actually think everybody has a really unique take and personality and opinion to add to this discussion on YouTube in regards to fragrance, and I really love kind of experiencing everybody's channel. But overall, when it comes down to dislikes, it's not so much disliking, it's just feeling a little bit disconnected because it's not geared at me. Fragrance channels that I love, a lot of reviewers say this, and I'm truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. When you really start doing fragrance reviews, you tend to stop watching a lot of channels. And that has to do more with you kind of want to make sure that your reviews and your videos are as unconsciously unbiased as possible. Starting off, I literally watched like Katie, and I love Steven's channel and Mark's channel, and I've really grown to love Carlos's and just everybody really. Tiff's channel, Vava needs to put out more content. There's a lot of people out there. Delicious Delights is a channel that I love so much. I mean, there's a lot of amazing content out there, but as I started to really take YouTube more seriously and do this more less as a hobby and more as kind of like a part-time job, which is how I view it, which I love. I don't make any much money from it, but I view it as that being that kind of responsibility. I have stopped watching channels as much, but I do still tune in from time to time. Somebody's channel who recently, just within the past like 6 months or a year, I've just completely think is amazing is Big Beard Business. Buck's channel is just outstanding. His production value, his personality, he's so nice. He is a rising star in the community, and I love his channel so much. I watch it all the time, but generally overall, I like everybody. And if I don't like their channel, it's not that I dislike their channel or I think that their channel is bad, it's just I feel disconnected from it. So when is my husband making a cameo appearance? He keeps saying he will never be on my channel. I keep trying, he keeps saying no, but we might start an additional channel. We've talked about a few other things that we might do on the side. So if we do start an additional channel, you'll see him there, but he will probably never be on this channel. He just doesn't want to encourage this. He just doesn't. Will you consider an Osme or Neiman's vlog? Yes, actually, I'm planning on doing some stuff. Hopefully, I can do some stuff in Miami. I really want to start showcasing places to find great fragrances, great fragrance counters with fantastic essays. I really want to start focusing on the fragrance community in South Florida. So I have a few things I'm working on, and I'll get towards that at the end of the video when I talk about my channel and what I have planned, but I am planning on doing that. I don't vlog too much, just because I feel really self-conscious being out in public in general. So when I have the opportunity to be outside having my phone right here I'm very weird about, but I do have some kind of like out of the curtain videos planned. What are my tattoos pictures of? This is a great, I have a lot. I don't have a lot, but I have some. So I have this arm right here, which you guys see more often than not. It is a girl reading a book. I don't know if you can see. Can you see? Anyway, it is a girl reading a book, and it's supposed to represent a short story that I read when I was little that kind of stuck with me. Then I have an owl right here. I love barn owls. Oh, yeah, I got this one for Halloween, and then I got this one. It's a cross with a fish. I have a robot. I have a heart back here that says family, because the family holds the key to my heart. The first tattoo I got was a Celtic cross that I designed on my lower back, because that's where everyone gets their first tattoo. I have a chainsaw over here that says Hail to the King. It's a reference to Army of Darkness, if you guys don't know about that movie. And I have others I don't remember that I have, like little ones I got for fun all over, but I am planning on finishing. Oh, I've got a panther up here that needs to be reworked for my grandfather because he had a panther up there. And then this arm is going to be saved for like a fairy tale themed tattoo whenever I get the money or an opportunity to do that. So those are my tats. Marcy LK asks, what fragrances from your collection did you fall out of love with? And what did you grow to love that you didn't previously? Also still waiting for a cat video. Would love to see an updated full perfume collection. I do want to do an updated full perfume collection, but I don't want to do one a year, and since I did one in 2017 closer into November, I might do it closer to summertime and do another updated video for you guys there. I do like to keep you guys updated on my collection videos, and you guys do seem to enjoy that. I just don't want to do it so frequently. I kind of want to keep them spread apart, so I do want to do it again. I'll probably do that closer to the summertime. Cat videos coming. That'll probably be something I put up on Instagram Live. I decided I don't know if I want to put it on YouTube. I mean, maybe I'll put it on YouTube, but it's something I think would be better on Instagram Live. Let me know below what you guys think, if you guys would prefer it to be on YouTube. I know some people are like, yes, do it, and other people would be like, please don't do that. But you guys have been asking to see my cats for a while, and I do love my cats. So if you guys would prefer that on Instagram or on YouTube, let me know. That is definitely coming. Our house has been a wreck, and as I get into the end of the video, you'll understand why I haven't done it yet. But it is coming. And what fragrances in my collection did you fall out of love with, and what did you grow to love that you didn't previously? Well, the answer to the last part of that question is Chanel No. 5. I thought it was rancid garbage when I first started wearing fragrances. I hated it. And it just took me time for my nose to really kind of grow and to appreciate more complex scents. I was more into fresh, easy to wear scents when I was younger, and then I grew to really like the complexity and these beautiful timeless scents, and you know, Guerlain Shalimar is an example, and just things like that I really had to grow to appreciate, and Chanel No. 5 was definitely one of them. A scent that I fell in and out of love with, I wouldn't say that I fall out of love of scents. There's just some scents that over time I have so many that are similar that I just reach for others more than that one, even though I enjoy it. Would be when I did the Great Amber Purge over a year ago. I had so many amber based scents and I love them, but I really wanted to kind of get it down to like one or two. An example of a series of scents that I loved but I ended up trading or swapping or selling was the Givenchy L'Atelier Givenchy fragrances. They're, no, I mispronounced it, I'm sorry. They're less exclusive line. I just ended up selling them or swapping them. They were beautiful and I love them, but I was not wearing them, so I guess that could be the best one that I kind of fell out of love with. Overall, they're phenomenal scents. That line is an underappreciated line. They're really terrific. I think they're spectacular. It's just I wasn't reaching for them. I was reaching for other things. That's why I sold or swapped them. I think that's the best answer to that question. William says, my question would be, what fragrance has been your best discovery for 2018 and your worst discovery of 2018? Oh boy. Now, when I say discovery, I'm not going to say fragrances that were sent to me, because I think obviously we know the answer to that question at this point in time. But when it comes down to my best discovery for 2018, I did purchase this, so I do think this is okay. But I think that when it comes down to it, the Parfums de Nicolai scents to me just blew me away. So I would say that entire range, but Fig Tea was amazing, like absolutely amazing. And that whole line of scents is just an outstanding bargain, like an outstanding, the quality, the craftsmanship, the price point, it's insane. So I would just say the entire Parfums de Nicolai line, but Fig Tea for me was just like, oh my goodness, I need this in my life. Right now, big bottle, yes please and thank you. So I would say just one that I randomly happenstance discovered. I was with Tina and Lola when I first tried that, and it was just magnificent. I'd have to say Fig Tea from Parfums de Nicolai. It's definitely a memorable scent in my mind. And my worst discovery? Oh, I don't remember what range of scents was, but Osme had an event for like Art Basel, so it was like early December, and Leslie Scent Bubbles was there, and her and I were just kind of like going through the shop trying all these scents, and there was this line of scents that we both tried. I don't remember, I legitimately do not remember the name, and we were both like, oh boy, this is potent. It was just very strong and powerful, but not so much in a positive way, and I think I would have to wear them and play with them and try them on my skin before I could sit here and say it was a bad scent or I didn't like it. But just first impressions wise, we were both like, oh, this is just, she might remember what it was, but we were both like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I don't remember, I legitimately don't remember what it was, because we tried a lot of scents that night. There was a lot going on, but overall that one was probably could be considered the worst, just because it was both at the same shop. It was both at Osme, so we had this amazing, this is groundbreaking, I love this, maybe not groundbreaking, but just absolutely beautiful, I love this, and then this one was like the opposite. So I would just have to say that. Elaine ONGPP, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Their question is, what would your all-time favorite white flower as well as non-white flower be? I'm assuming this is going to be fragrances. So roses aside, so roses is out of this question. My favorite white floral scent, if I truly had to like think about it and say this scent, this white floral scent is just amazing, is one I don't own and I keep meaning to buy, and it's from Tusi de Paris, and it's Melody de l'Amour. That was a life-changing white floral scent. It was so beautiful. I mean, I love white florals. That's one of my favorite scents and one of my favorite compositions, but if I had to just pinpoint it, first thing that comes to mind is that scent. It was just amazing. And for my non-white floral scent, roses aside, this is hard. So I was trying to figure out which scent profile I like the most in regards to florals that aren't roses or white flowers, which is really hard, and then which scent in that category just blew me away, and it's no brainer, the Prada Infusion d'Iris. That scent is just magnificent. It's so good. And Iris is just one of those, either, you know, the Accords or the super expensive Orris Butter, or however you get into it. Just Iris as a note I love, absolutely love it. And Infusion d'Iris from Prada is just an outstanding fragrance. It's a cult classic, hyped, loved beast of a fragrance, and I definitely understand all the love and attention it gets. So that would be my choice for the non-floral or non-white flower choice. All right, now that the Q&A is out of the way, let's talk about what's going on with my channel. There's one thing you might have noticed the past few weeks has been my inconsistency with uploads. I usually try to post things Monday through Friday. I love that schedule. I chose that schedule because I love talking to you guys and bringing content out there, but just health issues with me and my family have made it almost impossible. So the next few months to maybe this next year, because there's a lot going on with our family health-wise. You guys probably know about what's going on with my nephew and my father. Not so much with me. I have severe chronic IBS. I can barely leave my house. I can get more into it if you guys want more into it. I don't feel the need to talk to you guys about that, but it gets hard for me to leave the house, and I get really sick and I don't sleep, and it's hard for me to film sometimes. In the last few months, because of all the stress with my dad and my nephew, and new stress with my nephew and the anger going on with that, and I'll get into that later if you guys want to know more. It's just been really hard to be able to stick to a Monday to Friday schedule. So I'm still going to have a Monday through Friday schedule, but if you see me miss a day or two, it's just because I'm just unable to film. I'm not going to try and put myself in a bad place or give you guys subpar content. Maybe I don't feel like it, maybe I'm tired, maybe I'm not able to really review this fragrance properly. I don't want to rush anything. I like to spend a little bit of time and actually plan out my content, even though it doesn't seem like that. So you might notice some hiccups where I miss a day or two. Just, you know, I'm still here. It's just getting through this little kind of hill and we're at the upper point of the hill. So that is something that you might notice, as you're going to notice a bigger gap in videos. There might be 1 or 2 days. Now I did take the New Year off, so the New Year's Eve and New Year's I didn't film just because I was tired. You're up late, so that's why this video is today and not yesterday. But you are going to notice a little bit of a difference in regards to my scheduling, but I'm going to try my hardest, and for the most part it'll be Monday through Friday. But if you notice me missing a few days, it's just because of that. Do not worry. Some of you guys are like, where are you? We missed you. Are you okay? I'm fine. I just need to sleep a little bit longer than normal because I was up really late and like not feeling good. Now for the content. Now another theme of my channel since I practically started was saying I'm going to have better content. I'm going to have a more polished production. I want to do that for me. I'm not doing that for you guys, even though I would love for you guys to have the best high definition of my thumb face as possible. But I want to do it for me. I really want to ramp up the production quality because I know that I can and I want to. So my husband and I, we were going to do it in the summer, and then we had to watch my mom's cat while my dad was going through his treatments. And they were in the room, he was in the room that was going to be used for. So my husband for Christmas got me some sound stuff, and we have lights. So hopefully within the next few weeks I'll start playing around with better production, and then I'll start playing around with editing. So you're probably going to notice within the next 3 to 6 months a shift. Some videos might be like this, some videos might be a little bit higher production. I am planning on that. Oops, sorry, as I kick the table that this is on. I am planning on that and I'm really excited. But what I'm most excited for is the content I have planned. Now I am going to be trying my hardest to vlog. I feel very, I don't know, I mean, I mentioned before, vlogging isn't my thing. It takes a lot for me to go out in public, and it takes even more for me to like walk around with a camera, but I thought it might be fun if I like schedule vlogs. So I've talked to some people who run shops, who open this boutique, my SA, and I want to start kind of taking you with me and kind of doing these kind of like on-scene interviews and showcasing South Florida and places you can shop and just like great destinations for fragrance. So that's something that I have planned. It'll be a little bit more vlog style, but it won't be so much vlog. And I have a few places planned out for that very soon. I'm very excited. So if you guys live in the South Florida area and you want to know great places to stop and just not just find great selections, but actually talk with people who have a passion and a knowledge for fragrance, I'm going to recommend some places that I love going to in South Florida. So up to West Palm Beach, down to Miami, and you can probably already guess a few places I'm going to be stopping. So that stuff's planned for the next few weeks. Really excited for that. And that is something that takes a lot of work for me because I have to plan and schedule, and there's a lot that's involved with that, but I'm really excited. I want to take this fragrance, I want to be a little bit more ambitious with my channel, not numbers wise, like not like I want to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I want to go here and do this, meet these people. For me, it's like I want to be more ambitious with the type of content I do with my channel. I really want to start kind of carving my own little corner in this YouTube community, and everybody has their own unique way and their own unique voice and their own unique way of presenting themselves. And I feel like I've just been kind of behind in front of this curtain for so long that I've gotten very comfortable with the style of my reviewing and the style of my content, and I like doing it, do not get me wrong, but I kind of want to push myself a little bit further. So again, getting more production up, doing more in-depth reviews. I want to start talking about notes and like breaking down fragrances on a more specific level, not just saying this has an aldehyde, this has leather, kind of like talking to you guys about accords and the composition of scents and really how a specific balance or blend can impact how a fragrance wears and how a fragrance develops on the skin. I want to get more technical with you guys. So it takes a lot of research for me to do that. Definitely takes a lot of research. So I have a few things planned where I talk about specific notes. And I talk to you guys about different fragrances that are in those notes that kind of anyway, I have a lot of interesting, at least I think it's interesting, videos like that planned. I also am really excited to just being able to share with you guys just again new discoveries. I want to start really focusing on indie houses. I want to bring you guys a lot of new content rather than the same old. So that's what I'm looking for this year. I have one goal for myself, and that one goal for myself is to just be 100% better in regards to my channel from today to December 31st, 2019. I want to see a considerable change. I want to see a considerable change in production. I want to see a considerable change in how I pronunciate things. I want to see a considerable change in my editing. I want to see change. And if that gains me subscribers or if it loses me subscribers, I could easily lose subscribers with all this. That's fine, because for me, I want to see a change in my channel and I'm ready to put in the work and to make that happen. And I hope you guys like it, but it's for me, you know? And the other thing I'm working on health-wise is just with this illness, it's hard for me to be able to go out. It's hard for me to be able to, like even leave the house. Like I can't leave the house, you guys, it's bad. But getting my health and my diet underway so that I can start being a little bit more social, a little bit more out there. I was supposed to go to New York. I was supposed to go, I think I was even thinking about going to Seattle. There's a bunch of places I had planned to go this year, but I had to scrap. I want to be better. I want to be 100% better than I was now in a year. So hopefully I can do that. That's my one goal specifically for this channel, but we will see. Another change that may happen this year or not is I will actually be moving. My husband and I and our mother-in-law, we purchased property in Gainesville. So I live in South Florida, and that is on the opposite side. It's up, and a little bit in the middle. And we are building a house. So my husband's designing it. We've been designing it for like a year. And we're in no real rush to leave, but as soon as we start building, it's going to be whoop, going out. So I don't know how that's going to affect this channel. I think next year is when it's really going to affect it. But if you start to see things change, or you know, if I start talking about how I review, because it will affect how I review, because how I review down here is based on the high heat and high humidity, but the weather up there is different. So that will affect how I review a little bit. I might recap old fragrances that maybe didn't perform that well and see how they reviewed up there. I don't know. That is something that's definitely going to change as well. Anyway, I feel like this last part of the video is unnecessary, but I'm going to leave it in anyway. So in any case, I'm going to end this video here as I lose like 50 subscribers. That's fine. But I did want to start off this year with being personal, answering your questions and talking to you guys and just being kind of like sitting down and chatting with you. So ending the video here. It's really long. I'll see you guys tomorrow with regular, normal contents. Bye guys.